We maintain the peace through our strength. Weakness only invites aggression. Our security is based on being prepared to meet all threats.
The past 30 years have been absolutely amazing to me. What we've done is to assess and establish what the ground truth is, and to speak fearlessly about it, because the difference between doing something that's right and doing what's expedient may be the difference between our country's survival and its demise.
There was a lot of lonely battles there during those 30 years. It was all worth the fight, all the sacrifices, all the aggravations, all of the wondering, why are we even doing this anymore, or is it going to matter? And then you see President Trump embrace so much of what we had been putting through.
The center has been in the forefront in pointing out what must be reversed and how our military budgets must be structured, and to enhance the rebuilding of our military forces.
So the Center for Security Policy is extremely important to our nation's military, really for three reasons. The first is truth, the second is strength, and the last is survival.
This country would have no missile defense today if it weren't for Frank Gaffney. In fact, Charles Krauthammer wrote a column that said that they ought to call the missiles Gaffneys, because if it weren't for Frank Gaffney, there would be no missile defense for the United States at all.
We're putting a lot of time into the Iran nuclear deal and the threat from North Korea's nuclear program. And I think we provide the type of comprehensive analysis of these threats that you can't see anywhere else.
The greatest single problem we face as a country, the vulnerability of our electric grid. Every one of our adversaries knows about that vulnerability.
The Center for Security Policy believes that we should stop importing jihadis. We have a program running today to expose the problem and to try to slow it down and ultimately stop it.
China poses an existential challenge to the United States, and the Center for Security Policy has consistently talked about this threat and what we can do to protect ourselves. This is absolutely essential because this is the challenge of our time.
And then, of course, the subversive program of the Islamic movement overall, which we see in the United States with the vanguard of the Muslim Brotherhood.
Without the Center for Security Policy, I don't think we would be having a national conversation about Sharia to the extent that we do.
What we've done is adopt to the public policy fight what our special forces do. You forge from their different strengths a team that is able to accomplish what seems to be impossible.
And let me say to Frank Gaffney, Center for Security Policy, thank you for your clear, clarion vision, your courage, and your leadership. It makes an extraordinary difference.
President Reagan said, every generation faces an existential threat to freedom. It's not passed on through the bloodstream. It has to be fought for and protected and passed on to the next generation to do the same. And he warned if we don't measure up, that we will spend our sunset years telling our children and our children's children what it was like to live in the United States when men were free. And I personally have been determined not to have that be my fate, or my children, or my children's children have it be theirs.